In our headlines for this evening, locally, Brazil and the St. Kitts and Nevis sign a visa waiver agreement and a significant increase in agricultural production on Nevis. The details are straight ahead. Good evening and welcome to the Nevis Newscast for today, Monday, March 30th, 2015. I am your presenter, Bronte Swanston Hendrickson. Nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis holding a valid St. Kitts and Nevis passport no longer require visas to travel to Brazil. A release from the St. Kitts and Nevis Information Service says the government of St. Kitts and Nevis is pleased to communicate that this agreement was signed on January 20th, 2015 and came into effect on March 7th, 2015. The agreement states that citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis bearing a national valid passport shall be exempt from visa requirements to enter, leave, transit through and stay in the territory of the Federative Republic of Brazil for purposes of tourism or business for a period not exceeding 90 days, renewable for an additional period of up to 90 days, provided the total length of stay shall not exceed 180 days per 12-month period from the date of first entry. This agreement augurs well for the bilateral relationship between both countries, and it forms part of the ongoing initiatives of the government of St. Kitts and Nevis to boost economic growth, promote and increase trade and investment, and facilitate travel. Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, in his remarks at the 21st Annual Agriculture Open Days opening ceremony, noted that there has been a significant increase in agricultural production on Nevis over the past 2 years.
The Ministry and Department of Agriculture continues to work closely with farmers and stakeholders alike within the industry so as to ensure that we have the necessary productive assets such as land, water, equipment, and new technologies. As such, since taking over the role as Minister of Agriculture 2 years ago, I am proud to report that we have seen an incremental increase in agricultural production here on the island of Nevis.
According to Minister Jeffers, farming successes are visible across the island, and it is heartwarming to note that the young persons who have been attracted to agriculture are entering into different aspects of the profession. He believes that this will lead to the continued diversification of the island's agricultural landscape. Minister Jeffers, who is confident that the sector will continue to grow, congratulated the Ministry and Department of Agriculture for hosting another successful Agriculture Open Day.
We in the Ministry and Department of Agriculture are confident that we can restore agriculture to its former glory days as being the breadbasket of the Federation. The task ahead, of course, is a challenging one, but with the dedicated team at the department level, we are firm in our conviction that this will be possible. At this point, it is incumbent upon me to pay tribute and homage to the staff of the Department of Agriculture and Ministry of Agriculture for once again rising to the challenge and mounting an exhibition that can rival anyone in the region. I must commend also the entire team for a job well done this year.
That was Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Alexis Jeffers, speaking at the opening ceremony of the 21st Annual Agriculture Open Day held on Thursday, March 26th at the Villa Grounds in Charlestown. The patron for this year's Open Day was long-standing employee at the Department of Agriculture, Roslyn Cranston. The two-day event was held under the theme Strengthening the Drive Towards Food Security. Premier of Nevis and Federal Minister of Labour, the Honourable Vance Amory, says he intends to hold a meeting with representatives of trade unions and the St. Kitts and Nevis Chamber of Industry and Commerce in an effort to address issues with respect to labour matters. According to the Labour Minister, these are areas of concern in St. Kitts and Nevis, and it is necessary for the country to fulfil its obligations under the International Labour Organization ILO arrangement in keeping with international standards. The announcement comes on the heels of Amory's participation in the 9th ILO meeting of Caribbean Ministers of Labour in the Bahamas.
As far as the ILO and the international community is concerned, any matter to do with labor and labor relations has to have a tripartite component, and that is government, unions, that's the representatives of the employees, and the representatives of the employers, to ensure that all matters are dealt with in an objective way in the best interest of all of the parties involved.
The main substantive issue of discussion during that meeting was decent work for sustainable development. The discussions dealt with universal challenges in the world of work, issues of youth unemployment, and climate change. The meeting focused on skills development and creating an environment which results in employment for young people. Coming up after the break, police say no-nonsense approach to security at Interprimary. Stay tuned.
Greetings to the beautiful people of Queen City, Nevis. I am the 2014-2015 Mr. Cool, Alfonso Henry. My reign is now coming to an end, and I need a successor. Therefore, I'm inviting males between the ages of 18 to 30 to apply for the 2015-2016 Mr. Cool C41 celebration. This is your time to shine. Your time for a life-changing experience. Your time to show the world what you are made of. I am Alfonso Henry, your caramel guy, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm your reigning Miss Culture Swimwear, Shalnoida Hewlett, inviting young, vigorous ladies to be a part of the Caribbean's greatest summer line by participating in this year's Miss Culture Swimwear competition. My reign has been great. I am a bit heartbroken that it is coming to an end. However, I am looking forward to meeting my successor. Registration is now open. Interested individuals can collect application forms at the Culturama Secretariat. Don't miss out on this year's festivities.
Welcome back. Revenue matters and arrangements for revenue sharing will be the focus of a meeting to be held tomorrow, Tuesday, March 31st, between the Nevis Island Administration's Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Finance in the federal government. According to Premier of Nevis and Minister of Finance, the Honorable Vance Amory, he, along with the NIA's Permanent Secretary of Finance, Colin Dorr, will discuss those matters with the Financial Secretary in the National Unity Government. The meeting, the Premier notes, is a very important aspect of the NIA and Team Unity's new approach to government. So Superintendent of Police Hilroy Brandy says, as in previous years, this year there will be a no-nonsense approach to security for the Inter-Primary School Athletic Championship. Brandy told a March 17th press conference that as a major sponsor of the annual meet, the Royal St. Christopher and Nevis Police Force has managed the event without incident for the past 33 years and intends to continue that trend.
Every person entering the park will subject it to a scan. You have to be scanned. There will be no weapon of no sort will be allowed into the park, and that day there will be no glass bottle, drinks, beverages should be sold in the park. All beverages should be sold in cups. There should also be, it is the Ministry of Education, the government policy. This is a school function, and there should be no alcoholic beverage sold. If such persons are found with alcoholic beverage, they committed a criminal offense and can be prosecuted and will be prosecuted. There will be VCP, we call vehicle checkpoint, be done on various parts of the island. So please, we are asking the general public to communicate and follow all instructions from the police, and let we have an incident-free Mini Olympics 2015.
For more than 30 years, the event, dubbed the Mini Olympics, has received financial assistance from Gulf Insurance Limited.
There will be $25,000 given for the purpose of this big event, to sort of make a better picture, if I may call it so. The company, the firm of ALE Limited, is offering a $10,000, which will give us a total amount of $35,000 for this occasion.
This year's Inter-Primary Athletic Championship is being jointly chaired by Lester Blackett, President of the Nevis Amateur Athletic Association, Michelle Sutton, Sports Coordinator in the Department of Education, and Jamir Claxton of the Department of Youth and Sports.
Inter-Primary is an opportunity for the young athlete to display their athletic ability and their talent, and not an opportunity for adults to be betting on races, berating young athletes because they didn't perform as well as you want them to, or even it shouldn't be an opportunity to create conflict and confusion. So I'm encouraging everybody out there in the general public to just go out to support the athletes. Remember, it's their opportunity, it's their stage. Allow them to have fun while doing what they like.
The 34th Gulf Insurance Inter-Primary School Athletic Championship is slated for Wednesday, April 1st at the El Camino T. Willett Park. This year's meet will be held under the patronage of former athlete of the Ivor Walters Primary School, Kenley Maynard. And finally, a town councillor for Randolph in Massachusetts has commended the reasonable approach taken by the newly elected Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris, to the ongoing dispute between the United States and Venezuela. Councilman Kenrick W. Clifton says he commends the mature and statesmanlike approach of the new Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, Dr. Timothy Harris, who in recent comments called for reconciliation and diplomacy. While acknowledging Venezuela's friendship, Prime Minister Harris, in recognizing the historical ties with the United States, the importance of tourism, trade relations, and the fact that the United States has been the home to hundreds of thousands of nationals of St. Kitts and Nevis and the rest of the Caribbean, was astute in calling for dialogue, peaceful coexistence, and a more balanced approach to conflict resolution. U.S. President Barack Obama recently signed an executive order declaring Venezuela a threat to U.S. national security and imposed the sanctions on individual Venezuelan officials who violated their citizens' human rights, committed acts of violence, persecuted political opponents, undermined democratic institutions, and engaged in public corruption. These officials are not allowed to enter the United States, and their assets have been frozen. Coming up in the regional news segment, Caribbean governments urged to pass proceeds of crime legislation. The details after this break.